to a special breaking news edition of the Clay Edwards Show here on all of my social media platforms, including YouTube, Facebook, and Rumble. This is a news story that we think you guys will find interesting. It has driven the conversation, pun intended, across my social media and my radio show for the last 12 hours. So I figured we would bring it to you here in its own video format. The state of Mississippi is fed the hell up with squatted trucks and the guys that drive them. Legislation has officially been introduced in the House and the Senate. Two similar bills to outlaw squatted trucks, and well, not just trucks, squatted vehicles, period, in the state of Mississippi. Here's the story from supertalk.fm. As you see there, there's a squatted truck. This one is probably legal. The rule is where it can't be more than 4 inches squatted. Let's check out what they got to say here. High riders in Mississippi may have to abide by new regulations in the near future. Legislation has been introduced by Representative Fred Shanks, Republican. Brandon, just for 100% transparency, Fred is one of my good friends. He's also my state rep and my neighbor. So I just want to throw that out there. Anyway, he's introducing legislation that would outlaw squatted vehicles or those whose front ends are raised 4 or more inches above the height of the rear fender. The alteration essentially positions the front headlights of a vehicle to face toward the sky while the back lights stare down at the ground. Shanks, who test drove a squatted truck to validate his concerns about the threat they pose to public safety, is looking to follow a move kickstarted by North Carolina, where the vehicle moderations allegedly began, which bans them from operating on roadways. It's known as the Carolina squat, very popular amongst truck shows. Me and my girlfriend went down to Scraping the Coast this past summer because both of her sons at the time, in fact, had squatted trucks. So we just wanted to go down there and be down there in case anything happened or needed to be there for any reason. And we walked around the shows, and the overwhelming majority of the vehicles down there were squatted trucks, not traditional lowered or lifted. So it's hard to argue the popularity, whether we like it or not. All right, so let me continue on here. Let's see here. I quote, this is from Shanks. I have actually done my due diligence. I have a buddy who worked on one of these trucks, and I drove it around a parking lot. You cannot see what is in front of you for a good distance, Shanks said on the Gallo radio show. It changes the geometry of the factory suspension, which is very dangerous. In early January, a 6-year-old girl was struck and killed by a squatted truck in the driveway of her Smith County home. Shanks cited the incident as evidence of as evidence of the danger of these types of vehicles constitute. To keep squatted vehicles off the road in Mississippi, the GOP lawmaker has proposed the following punishments to be levied against those convicted of operating the altered automobiles. First offense, $100 fine. Second offense, let's highlight this so you guys can see them. First offense, a $100 fine. Second offense, a $200 fine. And the third offense, it's only a $300, I say only a $300 fine, but it could lead to the suspension of the squatted vehicles operator's license for up to a year. Wow. If an offense occurs after 5 years since the last one took place, it will not be counted as a secondary offense, preventing an additional price tag or charge from being added to the fine of the perpetrator's vehicles. In the other chamber of the Capitol building, Senator Jason Barnett, Republican from Brookhaven, drafted a similar bill to prohibit such modifications to vehicles. Shanks is hopeful that the House and Senate can work together to come up with a uniform legislation in conference if the two bills advance. All right, so let's talk here for a second. I am a custom vehicle fanatic. I don't personally have a problem with this. It ain't my cup of tea. I wouldn't do it, but to each their own. I would be curious to see what the 4-inch squat looks like compared to what some of these other ones are. How out of, I guess, what would be regulation or the overwhelming majority. I don't know these things. They say they're extremely dangerous. I said this on my radio show this morning, just playing a little devil's advocate here. I've never seen a wreck involving one. I know I've seen pictures of wrecks down on scraping the coast and cruising the coast where they've rear-ended people, but I've never seen it up here in Brandon. Again, not to say it hasn't happened. I'm not everywhere at once. I also want to say that Fred Shanks isn't just some old fogey that's shaking a stick at the kids saying, "Get off my lawn." Fred is a dyed-in-the-wool custom car guy. He has a Dodge Viper. I mean, he is a car guy. He gets cars. He gets custom vehicles. He's at all the car shows. He's not just some guy trying to make the fun go away for the kids. He truly believes that these things are dangerous past a certain limit. So I won't fault him for attempting to make the road safer. At the end of the day, it is what it is. The problem I have is, again, I haven't seen evidence that they're any more dangerous than anything else. I hate that a little girl lost her life. That is terribly sad. Was it proven that the wreck happened because of the squatted truck? And if we get into banning things that have killed people or vehicles that have been involved in, God, I hate, hitting, I don't call it hit and run, but running over and killing people. If we get into that business, we're going to have to ban everything. I mean, Nissan Altima drivers are typically pound for pound the worst drivers in the world. Are we going to ban Nissan Altimas? I don't think the truck's the problem. It's the driver. It's kind of like guns. I don't think guns are the problem. It's the people with the gun that are the problem. And furthermore, I just think we have too many damn laws. I said this on my radio show this morning. If you want to institute a new law, you need to pick one to take off the books, maybe two. We have too many laws. We're lawing ourselves to death. It's inching away at tyranny. And I'm a fan of some of these laws. I'm a fan of people having to have insurance. I have to have it. If I get in a wreck and I want my vehicle paid for, I have to have full coverage if it's my fault. I don't even think you should be allowed to just have liability. I think everybody should have to have full coverage. That, again, just my opinion. But I'm not forcing my opinion on other people. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments there. Be sure to like and share this video, please, if you find it interesting. Please subscribe to my channel wherever you're watching it at. YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, and I guess X, wherever else you see it at. How about that? Should squatted vehicles be banned? I know it's a very polarizing topic. Here's the other thing too. It's young boys that drive these things under 21 more times than not. It doesn't matter what you put a 17 to 20-year-old in. They're going to be bad drivers. I was one. I almost died in a wreck that was my fault. Went through a windshield, ran off the interstate, still got the scar right here to prove it. Had to have plastic surgery, the whole 9 yards. I was driving a lowered mini truck. I had no problem seeing over the hood in. It's distracted drivers that are the problem, not squatted truck drivers. Now, I can understand the argument, well, don't make it any more dangerous for a distracted driver. Touche. But again, Fred is one of my closest friends. Shanks, the representative that moved this bill forward. I slightly disagree with him on it. It's not a hard no for me, but I still think I want to see what a 4-inch looks like. I think this truck is probably legal. It's the ones that are just absolute crap show. Let's see if we can find one real quick on Google that looks ridiculous. Let's see here. Squatted trucks. I'm going to show you what an illegal one looks like here. Let me pull this up real quick. Here we go. This is illegal. Why are they doing that? I don't want to do that. Hold on. We gotta change the way we're sharing this real quick. Bear with me. Here we go. There we go. That's illegal for every reason on earth. And I think, unfortunately, this is what most people think when they see these things. Yes, 100% should not be allowed on the roads. No way, no how, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This was if my memory serves me correct, this was a very famous squatted truck. A famous YouTuber bought it and destroyed it. As you see here, South Carolina has banned the notorious Carolina Squat truck mod. The state of North Carolina is outlawing the notorious modification that bears its names. The state joined North Carolina. So South Carolina, North Carolina have banned the Carolina Squat. You mean they're not proud of the name of their states being the namesake of this nonsense? All right. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Again, hit share, hit like, hit subscribe, and sign up for those notifications for when we post a video or when we go live. We are full-time content creators over here now. And by we, I mean me. This is what I do. If you're interested in buying a F around and find out shirt, if you like the shirt your boy has on, they are available. ClayEdwardsShow.com. Click the link that says FAFO shirt or text the number here on the bottom of the screen, and I will send you the link directly. Stay blessed. Peace out.